Hello gamers and welcome to episode 398 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for December 4th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
All right, not much going on this week, man. I mean, there's a lot going on, but not going on like really around me, except for just sports related stuff. So we can just get right down to it, man. So beginning, it's the playoff push now for football. So NFL teams are kind of seeing where they're at, that they need to go full in or maybe take the gas off and look for the future. But big one is that Deshaun Watson is back playing. So he's playing against his old team, as the NFL has set up to be. So we will see if how he'll do. And if the what they call it, the Browns can come back. They're down 3-7 right now, I believe. And so can they come back and just win the rest of the games and go in the playoffs? I mean, yeah. So because the thing is, the Browns team is not a bad team. It is actually a decent team if they had a great, and then Deshaun Watson he was last time he played, was a great quarterback. I mean, they paid so much money for this man. So, I mean, I'm not expecting him to go to the playoffs. I think a lot of people are not expecting, but they do want to see how he'll look because he hasn't played in 2 years. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. What else we got here? My Washington team is still winning. It is feels really weird. I mean, these are games I had predicted, though. So far, everything, if you listen to the last podcast, I told you the only thing that's really went wrong with me was really wrong. It was just like a switch with teams that won and lost. But so far, everything's happening. Right now, what I predict is that we only win 2 more games. We won 7. I always predicted we won 9. And that's why I figured we split with the Giants. We played the Giants this week. Then we got a bye week and played the Giants again. I'm figuring we're split between them. That's what I thought at the beginning of the season. Now I'm we could sweep them, but we also could get swept. I don't know. So I have no idea. But I think it's going, at the least, it's going to be a split. I think we're going to win one of these games. And I think we got a team. I forgot another team. We got another team we played that is kind of winnable. But other than that, let me turn my phone's volume down because people just love to use this Facebook Messenger a lot. And God damn it. You know what? Where's the snooze? Snoozing for 8 hours. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's happening the way I have it. Even at 9 wins, they could maybe sneak in because the way how everybody's bunched up. But we'll see. Cowboys looking good. I mean, but Cowboys is for me, every year, people always say, oh, the Cowboys got a chance. They got a chance every fucking year, and they just don't do it. So until they do it, I don't give a damn how good they look right now because it seems like they're always falling their fucking face when they get to goddamn playoffs.
Yeah.
The Eagles, they had a great comeback win against the team, and so they're still only 1 loss. And other than that, I'm trying to think, there was any huge upsets. I mean, Tom Brady did lose last week, but thing is, their division sucks. So everybody's below 500 in the division, but since it sucks, they're going to get in probably by default in the division, so it doesn't even matter.
What's this about Tom Brady possibly going back to the Patriots next season?
I did not hear about.
Okay. I don't even know if that's real. I just happened to see it as a headline somewhere.
I can't imagine it being real. And Green Bay's really not looking great. But Aaron Rodgers is going to play this week because some people were thinking they should just bench him.
Yeah.
Why put him? Why play if you're not going to make the playoffs? But whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they are paying him a lot of money, but then again, it's some people are saying they should play their backup, who they think is the future, to see how he'll do, because then it can be hey, we could trade Aaron Rodgers because there's other teams that need him.
Yeah.
So we'll see if you can get something for him. Do a Brett Favre thing, you know? So I don't know. But yeah, football is exciting, and then you got NCAA football, which is really exciting because they're now we're going to begin the playoffs. I don't know when they do it. I don't know if they do it today or tomorrow. Maybe it's tomorrow when they set the playoffs to see who's going to be in, because they got the championship. It's been championship week, basically this week. So you got Clemson winning the ACC. You got TCU was undefeated, got upset by Kansas State. I watched that game. That game was good. And that was basically the only game I really watched. I mean, because the other games were kind of blowouts. So Michigan they blew out their team. I watched a little bit of it, but then I was like, oh, they kind of run away with it. Mm-hmm. So Michigan won for the Big Ten. USC got upset from Utah. They were top. They were like top number 4, I believe. Number 3 or number 4, and they lost. So that probably knocked them. That definitely, I think, knocked them out of the playoffs. So, but thing is, with TCU and USC losing, some people are thinking, oh man, can Alabama get back in there? Now, I don't think TCU should be out the playoffs because of their loss. They only got 1 loss, and that was a good game. They lost against a decent team. USC, yeah, they should go. But some people are saying Alabama shouldn't jump up to the playoffs because Tennessee, if anybody's going to get in that didn't have was in championship week, it should be Tennessee because they beat Alabama, and they only got the same amount of losses also. So they should get in if you're going to do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I don't want Alabama to get in, but I was like, when I saw USC loss, I was scared. Then I saw TCU lose. I was like, oh my God, Alabama really going to get in again? They've been in the playoffs every freaking year. I was like, are they going to get in again because these fucking teams can't finish? I said, God damn it. But nah, they shouldn't. I mean, they shouldn't, but we'll see. People probably looking like, nah, we put Alabama in there. Let's get them in there. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see who's going to the playoffs. I feel like I'm forgetting a big one. Like another big conference that won. Did I say it? I think I said all the big ones. SEC, yes, SEC. It was Georgia. Georgia won, and they're undefeated, I believe. I think Georgia's undefeated. But yeah, I think they're favorite. Yeah, because they're favorite to win the whole thing. So yeah, it should be exciting to see what happens out of this. Then you had college basketball. You know, they had some big things. Maryland is undefeated. They beat actually a top ranked school this time. So I mean, Maryland is ranked in the 20 something, but they really had no competition. So some people are thinking, hey, can they play against competition? And they did, and they beat them pretty handedly. And so they're looking good right now. I mean, it's a wait and see. This is a new coach, but this is the first time ever in, I think, the Big Ten that a coach has come in to not only win his first 8 games, well, I think it's 9 now, but to win by, well, the first 8 games he won by at least 15 points or more. Mm-hmm. All his games, nobody's ever done that. And I don't know I forgot how much they beat this team Illinois by, so I don't know if he kept that going, but still, he's still keeping that going. Like this is starting good on the resume, coming in with this team to do this. That, hey, they were unranked at the beginning of the season, so it wasn't expected for the team to look, they was probably expected to win some of those games early on because a lot of those teams were kind of cream puffs, but to win the way they did, to look the way they do, playing those games, the team looks like a whole new team. So, yeah, I mean, I just hope for an exciting season. Look, I'm not having big expectations for it. I just want to see an exciting season of college basketball, man, because, I mean, that's what Maryland's known for. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what they're really known for. They are going to be in a bowl game for their football team. I don't know where, but like I said, it's going to probably be this week. This week we're going to find out all the bowls where everybody's going. Any other news? I didn't really hear no baseball news like the word, because usually you might hear somebody going somewhere, like free agents probably going somewhere or something like that. I know Judge is the big one from the Yankees. So the guy who he did win MVP for the American League. So I wonder where he's going to go. I think the Yankees did make an offer to him, but no, there's been no commitment of right now. And I'm trying to think, any other things in sports? Oh yeah, something in NBA basketball. Wizards have been mediocre. I mean, they've been like fighting around 500, but they can't close it out. They can't close out these games. Like they had some close games, but they just can't finish them off. Yeah. They had one against Brooklyn and then the Hornets. Oh, so yeah, anything on wrestling? Let's see what on wrestling.
Oh, sorry. Survivor Series was last week. It was fun. They kind of filled the card with the two War Games matches. The women's match kicked off the show, and then the men's match ended the show. And they were both very good. And the storyline that they're telling right now with the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns and the Usos and Solo Sikoa, who is the Usos' brother, and Sami Zayn, who is like an honorary Uso right now, is quite entertaining. And in that match, they played up that story, kind of making Sami into kind of the hero. He won the match in a lot of ways for them. But people are suspecting that is what is going to lead to the turn on the Bloodline, mainly Roman turning on Sami Zayn, who has been kind of the guy embracing him up until this point, and turning Sami into kind of this like mega baby face, which should be a lot of fun going into WrestleMania, depending on what story they tell, because there's still speculation out there that they're going to get The Rock to show up at WrestleMania and wrestle Roman Reigns, which, I mean, if they can do that is a big match. You have Roman Reigns beat him as the head of the table, kind of give The Rock, or rather give Roman kind of the Rock shine, basically, even though, The Rock's going to come in, he's going to do his thing, and he's going to disappear again back to Hollywood. And the funny thing is, I mean, up until now, all these years of Roman Reigns main eventing WrestleMania has always been kind of poo-pooed on with good reason. But now that Roman is actually doing extremely good work with this character and this storyline, like it would be a lot of fun actually seeing him beat The Rock and go on to then be defeated by hopefully somebody that would go on to have some prominence. I know there's a lot of speculation that Cody Rhodes, now that he is returned from AEW, would be the guy to beat Roman. That could be fine, but like the stuff with Sami, it would be a lot of fun seeing Sami Zayn beat Roman Reigns. But we'll see how it comes out. It goes into WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble is their next big pay-per-view, which is always fun. And then, coming out of WrestleMania. So, yeah, that's wrestling.
All right. So I guess we get into what we're watching. So I guess you talk about the movie you watched, and then we talk about the trailers that's been going on.
Okay, so
that's coming out.
Yeah. So I watched Nope, the Jordan Peele movie. It is on Peacock currently. I wanted to check it out since seeing the trailer. It was okay. I wasn't blown away by it. It was fine. I think much in the vein of his previous movies. I still haven't seen Us, but you've told me a bit about that.
So you haven't. Wait a minute. Us. Okay,
That's
never mind. That's the second one.
Yeah,
okay.
Get Out. I've seen Get Out. I enjoyed Get Out.
I was about to say that's the best one.
Yeah. Yeah, and based on what you've told me about Us and watching this one, yeah, it seems like that's definitely the case. Because he continues the trend of some form of commentary with his film. And in this one, it seems more like kind of looking at the car crash, basically. Looking at the spectacle that is whatever it may be. And in this case, as you can see in the trailers, it's some kind of like UFO invasion or something like that. And the damage that it can do to you when you kind of do that. I think that stuff is fine. I think there is a moment in that where he makes it a little too obvious. But it doesn't kill the movie or anything like that. I think everybody in the movie has good performances. It's just not it's not a home run. It was perfectly fine for something to watch on Peacock.
She did like the last two movies. Yeah, she was disappointed in this one. Yeah. So I was shocked. I was like, oh, really? I said, yeah, maybe I'll watch it eventually, maybe one day. I mean, just like Us, it took me some years, and I finally saw Us. Because I ain't really great. Because it was mixed things with Us. Like, some people liked it, and then some people didn't, and so that's why I didn't really gravitate to it, like, till late. Like, and it was okay. But it wasn't. yeah, it wasn't no Get Out. Like
Yeah.
Get Out, I feel like it's still top tier.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
from
top
a
one.
horror standpoint, I don't think, from what I've seen of like even the trailers of Us and from watching Get Out, it doesn't feel like it's in that same vein either. Like there's not a whole bunch of jump scares or anything like that, or even like startling moments necessarily.
Oh, okay. All right. So now I guess we could talk about these trailers that have released for the last week or so.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just dropped.
Yeah. So you can pick one. Go pick one, and we'll talk.
All right, I kind of go in sequential order here. Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, was the first one I saw earlier this week. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, James Gunn's last seemingly Marvel movie, last Guardians movie. It seems like it's going to kind of close out that chapter and possibly the stories of a lot of these characters. The stuff that I like about it is it looks like they're going to go back and explore kind of Rocket's creation and his relationship with Layla, which is like a little sea otter that we've seen in the game. They had that in the Telltale game, and she's been in the comics in the past. I think that stuff can be very good. It seems like they're hinting towards the potential loss of somebody. It seems like they're pushing you to think it's going to be Rocket, but I don't know if that'll be the case, and I kind of hope not. I don't know who of that team I would be fine with losing, but I feel like once James Gunn's out the door, you're definitely not going to see Dave Bautista around much longer. It seems like his relationship with James Gunn, as shown like when Marvel had previously fired him, that he's a guy that is more willing to stand by James Gunn's side and could end up appearing in some DC movies in the future over, just hanging out with the Marvel stuff. You see Adam Warlock in there for the first time. He's the gold guy who was in the cocoon at the end of the last Guardians movie. From my understanding of him in the comic book, he kind of played a big role in the Infinity Gauntlet stuff. Obviously, he's coming in a little late to be doing any of that, so it'll be interesting to see how they evolve his character and make him into something different. But overall, I'm excited for what that movie's going to be. More so than just it being another piece of the Marvel puzzle. I think James Gunn's done an interesting thing with those characters in their own movies and building them up, and I just want to see more of that stuff. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Guardians. Well, the first Guardians I definitely like. That's one of my top Marvel movies. Like probably behind Winter Soldier. Is probably like my favorite. Is between that, Winter Soldier. I have to go through a list. Not counting the Infinity Wars, because that's just like big events, so I don't know how I even compare them to those. But yeah, I always liked the first Guardians. The second one was it was a little disappointing to me, but I still enjoyed it. Because I like that kind of space comedy and sci-fi like that. I like that. I enjoy that. And thing is, that's why I always had a problem with Thor, because I was like, I got that with Guardians, so I was like, I don't want that in Thor 2, gotcha. And then Ant-Man. So it's like, yeah, it's like look, man, I just don't need full blown comedies. I was like, I thought Guardians was gonna be that. So then when Thor Ragnarok happened, I was like, this is just Guardians and just with Thor. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I hope it turns out good. Like this is like I'm not like holding my like man, I can't wait for this or nothing. I mean, there's nothing like that for me right now. Unless there's like another Batman coming out, maybe that'll probably be the only thing.
Did I lose you
but yeah, with this, I lost you.
Yeah,
I stopped talking though when I heard the thing beep.
Oh, okay.
So I should be good.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to remember, where did I stop? Oh no, but like I am looking for this. This is like, as far as the trailers I have seen so far, of Marvel movies, this is probably the most anticipated one I want to see. And now that I'm thinking about it, the only other one I've seen was Ant-Man. I can't think of another future Marvel movie I've seen trailer of.
Yeah, I think that's
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even for announcements, like the other movies, movie/shows, they gotta come to me. Like it's not really. I mean, it's nothing I'm really like looking forward to though from those even announcements. Like this was it.
Right.
Yeah. So what's the next trailer?
I think the next one I saw was Indiana Jones 5, the Dial of something. And
The Dial of Time?
What is it?
Is it the Dial of Time?
Maybe that's right. The Dial of Destiny. You gotta get that alliteration in there. Yeah, I've never been the biggest Indiana Jones fan. I've kind of rode the wave because everybody talks about Indiana Jones like it's this huge franchise, and obviously Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, it's kind of a big thing. But coming into it kind of after the fact, and then mostly around the time that like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, and then seeing that movie and just kind of being like, oh yeah, that's a movie. I just don't have kind of the built-in reverence that a lot of people have. I thought this looked fine. You got old Harrison Ford doing Indiana Jones stuff. The bit at the end where he's whipping the thing around, whipping the whip around like crazy, and then people just pull out guns on him because people have guns nowadays. I thought that was funny. And kind of a turn on when the one guy pulls out a gun when he's facing him, in one of the earlier movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't do much for me.
Well, he pulled out the gun. The guy had a bunch of swords and he was showing off.
That's what it was.
And he pulled out the gun and shot him.
Yeah. So he should have learned his lesson then, Dominic. Old man Harrison Ford doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, so what did you think about this?
Well, I come from where I was somewhat of a fan. I wouldn't say big, but I was big enough that I was watching The Last Crusade a shitload of times.
Okay.
Because I was the latest one, and that was the one I think we had readily available for me to watch. But I did see the other two movies. I've seen the first one more than the second one. But I did like Indiana Jones. Like I was a really big Indiana Jones fan. When they finally came out with that collection for DVD, I bought that. And yeah, because I really enjoyed those films. And when Crystal Skull was coming out, I was really excited for it. And when I saw it, I enjoyed it when I first saw it. I was actually fine with it. It wasn't until like I think I talked to you. You said you saw it with your sister or something. And like you were talking about, man, I didn't like it's good. He talked about the monkey stuff. Well, the monkey stuff I didn't even remember. I guess I just didn't. It wasn't something that really stuck out to me. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember them doing a monkey. But yeah, I remember going with two other friends to see that, and they liked it, and I was like, yeah, this was cool. And I thought it was fine. But I can see after watching it again, I can see why people didn't like it. Even though I still don't really dislike it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was still fine. I still thought it was okay. It has its problems and everything. It does have its problems. So I'm not even mad at people for not disliking it. I know the reasons why, and I understand the reasons why people didn't like the fourth one. But it was okay to me. And for this one, I don't know. Like I would say I'm not looking forward to it, but it's not something I'm really like, man, I can't wait to see this. I'm thinking like, I have a feeling like it's going to be bad when I see it. I just think so because just how movies have been for me, these type of movies have done for me the last so many years. I have low expectations for this. The trailer looks fine though. Yeah, it looks good. But I was like, man, I've seen good trailers though. People can make some good trailers. So I don't know because I just find it weird. Like, because Harrison Ford is old, and I always felt like he should be his father. He should be what Sean Connery was. Yeah. It was in the third one, or at least, I mean, maybe a little more active, because maybe you say, hey, he kept himself up or something. But still, like, I like the whole thing of Shia LaBeouf was his son. I like that arc. I just wanted. So I'm thinking, like, so what happened? Like, what's the story going to be now? Because he married that woman in 4 that he met in the first movie, and I was like, oh, it's almost like it's like, oh, that's nice that he's back with her, and
button it up, settle down, and then your son goes on all these adventures.
And then his son, and he has a son, and I was thinking, like, I was with the ending kind of want to move forward. Now I understand the story about, like, some bad blood. I mean, something happened that Shia LaBeouf and Spielberg and them behind the scenes, something happened between them, whatever. Where I just feel like, hey, get another actor.
Right.
I mean, that's just how I feel. It's like, because he's not a staple, because that was only one movie, so you can just get another actor. I just want to know how they explain that off. How they explain the 4th movie, like how they just change that.
This is going to be him coping with his son passing away on the first adventure they went on.
That's so fucked up. That's what it is. That's so fucking sad. But I'm curious. Just being like Harrison Ford at this age. I know it's movies. Movies, you can make things happen. But I was like, why?
Yeah.
Does it have to be him leading like that? Why can't he be in the backdrop, like the side guy? Or, I mean, he can still be main, but it's just that he's not the guy doing all the action. He's probably the guy with the other guy or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? Maybe it'd be better if an Uncharted movie, So there you go.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, we don't really have a adventure movie of that ilk.
Nah.
Really. In the ink. I mean, you had Tomb Raider try to do it, and they even came back, and that Tomb Raider, maybe it was. I haven't even seen the last Tomb Raider, but I'm assuming it's better than the Angelina Jolie ones. But it still wasn't that good. But I have no idea.
Yeah, and I think it didn't make money, so they kind of shooed that away.
And then you had you had whatchamacallit, the other Disney one, National Treasure.
Yeah,
which I only seen the first one. There was only 2 of them, right?
Yes, I think they're working on a third one now.
Oh, see, working on a third one now. It's like, good God. It's like these people old too.
Yes, very much so. But Nicolas Cage has a son.
And Sahara, that was only one movie.
The Matthew McConaughey vehicle.
Yeah. That's the only other one.
They need to bring back the Mummy franchise. Brendan Fraser's big again.
The Mummy was one. That's right. Mummy was one. I don't know if they need to bring it back. They could just do something else.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But also Brendan Fraser put him in there.
Well, I guess they had Uncharted, even though I didn't want that, because I was like, the games are just movies and you can play them and they're better. It's better that way. But dude, I just wish they could just think of something that's just adventurous. But whatever. I hope it turns out good though. Yeah. I'll be watching it on Disney Plus.
Yep. All right. Next up, we got the Beast Wars. What is it? The Transformers Rise of
the Beast,
Reptar.
I think it's Rise. Yeah. Rise of the Beast, I think it's called.
Yes, that's what it is. Rise of the Beast.
I saw it because I think it came on the YouTube when they promote. I mean, like when they show things you might like. I was up there and I say, "Oh shit, the trailer's out." I just sent it to my friend. I didn't even watch it yet. I just sent it to him because I remember years ago. I forgot we were out with friends and we're talking and how they were talking about movies. And I remember he said, "Man, they need to do Beast Wars in the next Transformers." I don't know if Transformers 2 even came out when we were talking about that. Wow. And then I said, no, that's too complicated. And said that wouldn't make sense to do that now. Because that's like, that'd be cool because it'll be all just Transformers because there was no humans really. Right. Unless they're like the monkeys. They're like the Neanderthals or something. But when I sent him the video, he sent me a message saying that say yeah, they're gonna find a way to fuck it up or something. And then eventually I did watch it. I just watched it this morning. I was like, oh yeah, let me watch that trailer. And yeah, seeing that, it's a little disappointing for me because I'm like, I wanted it to be like Beast Wars, and where they're in Earth a long time ago, and shit happens, or maybe they come through a time portal and come to this time, or the vice versa. Optimus and them go through a time portal, and go to that time or anything. Something. I didn't want it to be like, oh, they're just here and they look like robots even as their animal form.
Right.
I wanted them to be animals. I mean, at least see something if they're going to go that route. Honestly, I just wanted Beast Wars. I just wanted all robots. I mean, it was like, fuck humans. I mean, fuck it. Just do like some robot war or something like that with the Beast War characters or something. I mean, it's nice, but I think I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted with old gen Transformers meeting Beast Wars on Netflix when they had the last season of the Transformers show.
Okay.
And that was okay. Like, and I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but I think it was all right, and I felt good about it. And I was like, hey, I like that. Like how they meet like this. This is pretty cool. I'm curious. I mean, actually, I'm not that curious because the story is going to be pretty stupid, probably. Like how this even happens. Like how did the Maximals come to this time? And what are they talking about? Like, oh, this is going to be the hardest thing ever. Are they fighting the Predacons? I'm guessing. I mean, they did show the symbol for them, so I'm guessing yes.
Yeah. So.
But even though I'm mad that I couldn't really tell a Predacon.
Yeah.
Like I was hoping they showed at least a T-Rex or something. Shit. Even though technically they did show a T-Rex with Dinobot.
I was gonna say maybe they feel like they already kind of did that portion of it with.
But it shouldn't. But thing is, he's supposed to look like a real T-Rex,
right?
And then turn a purple one. Well, the thing is, they didn't know. Well, technically, I think he's supposed to look like a real T-Rex. It's just that we didn't know what T-Rex looked like, so they just made it purple. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They're supposed to look like real animals, and then they transform. Even though they're still bigger versions of those animals, because I'm like, Rat Trap ain't definitely the size of a rat. Yeah.
I mean, that's the interesting thing, though, right? Is like when they're cars, they look like cars, and while those things are mechanical, they don't look like they're bits and pieces put together to make a car. So why couldn't you just make it look like an animal? I mean, shit, there was a fucking Decepticon that they made into a lady at one point. So like,
exactly,
they can look like animals.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, but I definitely did not like that. I did not like that variation of it was all a dream. You know, that the Biggie Small song with that. I was like, come on, man. Like, why had it be? Why y'all doing this?
Yeah.
Where's it supposed to take place? Is that New York?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I like you was
Detroit?
really hoping that it would take place, back in a distant time. And really, I was hoping they would use this as kind of their way to reboot the series and move away from some of that stuff. But
yeah,
now
like
hearing that it's related to like the Bumblebee timeline, that makes sense because, of course, Bumblebee was successful. So they're like, oh, we're going to tie it to that thing instead. It's starting.
Wait a minute, I don't get how they tied it to that. How they tie it to Bumblebee?
Well, the Bumblebee that's in here is apparently the same Bumblebee from the Bumblebee solo movie.
I didn't think the Bumblebee solo movie was. I thought that was still part of the other universe. It's just the past.
I think it is. I'm starting to feel, having watched this trailer, like the same way I felt about the X-Men movie, where it's like they keep trying to like do a new thing, but they're tying things back into the old thing enough that it doesn't give it that opportunity to kind of spread its wings and be its own thing.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking, and like I don't mind it being tied to Bumblebee. It's just that they go to the past or something. Yeah. they is this, or vice versa. Like I said, they could come through, but it's just something, I don't know. How that makes sense, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to the theaters to see this. I'm just going to wait till it comes out. I can watch it.
Still haven't seen The Last Night. That was the fourth one, right?
I don't remember. I know there was one with the woman bad guy, and I don't remember which one else that one was. A woman robot bad guy.
Yeah. So, not sure. All right, Dominic. Next up, the Super Mario Brothers movie. There's a second trailer out for that now. That looks pretty good. The thing that, like, visually, it looks incredible, even though some of the characters kind of look off to me still, like Mario, Luigi, and Peach. I think Peach looks fine, but she definitely looks different.
How does Mario and Luigi look off?
It's just like their eye size or their head size. There's something different enough from the game that, like, there's like an uncanny valley type thing there, even though they're not supposed to be real humans, obviously.
Man, I don't see that. I think you're talking about the voices, but I don't from visually, I don't see like, I don't see an issue. It looked like the goddamn same thing. I don't hate it
or anything. It's just something that it seems weird about it to me. But like I said, I mean, visually, it still looks incredible. To the voices, though, like, Jack Black is doing a voice for Bowser. I like that. Everybody else is just themselves. I mean, Chris Pratt is putting on sort of a Brooklyn accent thing. But Charlie Day is just fucking Charlie Day.
Well, put it like this. I only know two actors, and those are the ones you just said. So who are the other actors? 'Cause I don't know what they are.
So Charlie Day is Luigi. He's the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's just doing his voice. And then
I don't know which one that is.
He's Charlie from Always Sunny.
Okay.
The wild card. The one that's always...
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I don't need you to explain. I mean, okay. I was just saying, I don't know who that is, but we'll keep going.
And then Anna Taylor-Joy, she's the lady from Queen's Gambit. She plays Peach. But it's just them. It's their voices. It's not like they're putting any effort into being anything different. And I get it. Like, that's what we do with these movies. That's what they've done with, like, Despicable Me. You know, I mean, obviously Steve Carell is doing a voice, but everyone else around him, like when they had Sandra Bullock in there, she was just being Sandra Bullock.
I didn't even know Sandra Bullock was in that movie.
She's in 2, I think. I think that's the one she was in. Or maybe it was the Minions movie. I can't remember. She was in one of them. But that's basically it for me. It's not making me hate it or anything. I still think this is probably going to turn out to be a pretty good movie. It's just one of the things that sticks out to me. Like, Jack Black is attempting to do an actual thing, and maybe it's like they feel like he has to do a thing because he's a monster and he's not just a human being equivalent or whatever. But even like Keegan-Michael Key, who's Toad, seems to be doing a voice. He's not just talking like Keegan-Michael Key. So there's like that level of it where it's like some of these people just feel like they're putting in more effort than others. And that is a little bit distracting to me. But that's just me sitting here watching a trailer and kind of picking it apart. I don't think it's going to be something that while I'm watching the movie, I'm going to be too distracted by. I just figure it's worth mentioning. What'd you think about this trailer?
Oh, I mean, it like visually, yeah, it looks great. Like the voices, I don't know, because like I said, I didn't even know who these guys are, and even when you said the names, I don't know who they are. Yeah. So that's not even distracting for me. I mean, it looks good. It looks like a Mario. It looks like Mario to me, and yeah, I guess I can see what you're talking about. Maybe with the eyes stretching a bit. I guess, yeah, the eyes are a little different. It's interesting they have like all these things from Mario, like even the Mario Kart. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah, no, that stuff
pretty funny.
Is a lot of fun. Yeah, to me.
Yeah. I'm somewhat excited for this. I really want to see this.
Yeah, seems like it
I don't know
should
if I'll see it in theaters though.
Yeah, I don't.
You might see it at home.
Unless this comes out very soon, though, I feel like if it's something I felt like I could take my daughter to, but like, I don't think she's at the age where she's going to sit through a whole movie. And I'm not going to
stop other
subject
people taking kids in movies.
That. What's that?
I see people take babies.
I mean,
people take babies in movies.
Sure.
And made me angry. Made me angry.
See, and I don't want to make you angry, Dominic. I don't want to make people in the theater angry, mostly because I don't want to make myself angry. If I'm paid to see a movie, I want to sit there in silence and watch the movie, you know? So I don't want to be constantly tending to her. So that probably won't be a movie-going experience. Although I'm trying to think, the studio that put it out, I guess this would maybe end up on Peacock? And if that comes out on Peacock relatively soon, then yeah, I would just wait to see it there. So, yeah. Then the last one we got here, Dominic, the Last of Us trailer that just dropped this week for the HBO adaptation of that show. It looks like a high production value HBO show, and I think this is going to be perfectly fine. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks exactly like that.
Now, my question, I was telling you I had a question about this, and this is going to be spoilers for The Last of Us.
Okay.
A game that I have not beaten and have only come to know kind of the plot points of through discussions with you about it. So at the end of the game, you get the choice, I guess, or the choice is made. I mean, obviously it's not a choose your own adventure thing, but like, you're taking Ellie to a lab because she can be the cure for the human race against whatever this.
Possibly.
Okay. Is that a thing that is known throughout the game, that you are taking her to this place to do this thing?
Yes.
Okay. Cause it just,
I don't know what's I mean, I think so, because your whole goal is that you take, because that's your goal, because that's where you're trying to get to the Fireflies.
Okay. And
they're supposed to take care of her, and they're, that she could possibly have something that they can use. They have scientists or something there, or doctors there that they can use to find,
Okay. But I guess the idea is maybe that they don't know that she's going to have to die to do that, maybe?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't know that from the beginning.
Maybe
you learn that
what it
as
is.
you get there. And then I read Reddit about people who make the excuse of why Joel did he did the right thing,
right?
Because they say they was going to kill her. Cause it's like, you don't know. It's like there was no you didn't have proof that it was going to happen. Like you didn't have there wasn't no concrete proof that this was going to work,
right?
But I was like, but you don't know if you don't try,
right?
I'm saying, like, if we have a chance to cure people, and she even says it though. That's the thing. She says she's willing. Basically, she's willing to die.
Mm.
So that's the part that I don't get. What people don't get. It's like, if she said really, but he does it anyway because of his. It's not for me. It's like, it's not really him protecting her. It's really selfishness on him.
It's not
absolutely. Losing someone.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. And I just find I find it weird that I'm in a minority on that, because I see more people on the side of Joel. Because that's why I find it so weird how people were upset about Joel dying. People saying you got rid of the best character in the game or something like that, or like one of the best characters. And I'm like, the fuck? And then I found out the reason why they killed him. It's like, holy shit. I mean, I thought that seems like a good reason to kill him.
Right.
I mean, it's the whole revenge.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I don't know, man. I just said, whatever.
Okay.
Maybe because I ain't grabbed that attachment to Joel like they did. But I mean, I did have I mean, god damn, that plane is loud. Jesus fucking Christ.
Wonder if it's the same plane I'm hearing.
It probably is.
That's crazy.
God God, it's still going. Where the fuck?
It's that new B-52 bomber that's flying over.
All right, now it's gone. Jesus. All right. I have never heard that plane that loud in a while. All right. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I had a connection with Joel, for that, like that I could feel like, oh no, they shouldn't have killed him. Yeah. But no, man, I just that I did like Joel. It's just that when I got to that point, listen, I was ready for the heartbreak of her dying. That's what it was. Bein, I was like, damn, man, she's gonna die. Darn, this is sad. But then when he started going around killing everybody just to save her, I was like, holy shit, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to go out like this. I'm killing these people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. But,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a nice show. I don't know if I'm gonna be watching it though, because even though I know they could change the story, it's just I don't know, man. I just, as of right now, maybe when it comes out, well, actually, it should be coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I think like January 17th or something like that. So
or
a little more
sometime,
than a month away.
Yeah, sometime in the future, I'll watch it. I just have no interest in it now because it's just that the story is still in my head, and it's not something I even care about seeing reimagined. It's not my thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what we've been watching. So,
all right. So we try to get some video games.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll go ahead. So I'll start it off. All right, let's play some more Persona 5 Royale. So playing through that, I think I'm on like the third palace. Still doing a whole lot of stuff I never done before. I don't even remember playing darts and pool in the first game. I think that maybe that is a Royale only thing. I'm not sure. But I've been playing darts and pool. Well, darts you actually can play. Pool, you can watch yourself play. You don't, and like you can now. I guess it's based on what you learn because you can buy a book to get better, and you can do like, oh, you see yourself do a trick shot or something, and you impress your friends, and that gets your stats up. And I was like, okay, but darts you actually can play it. I like playing darts. So yeah, it's fun doing that. I don't believe much more to talk on there, but I'm still having fun playing that game. I tried the new game Gungrave G.O.R.E that came out. It's on Xbox Game Pass, so I tried it out there, and I did not like the controls much at first because you don't hold the trigger to shoot. It like you would. I'm thinking like Grand Theft Auto, and like auto. It's auto gun, and like it's like you just keep going. But no, you have to keep pressing it. And thing is, so I didn't realize I was supposed to press it real fast and like to keep. I think it's like 3-round bursts or something, or 5-round bursts, 4-round, something like that. I don't think it's 3 rounds. But it wasn't until the end of the video that I did record that I realized, I can, because I was like, how do you chain these attacks? I was like, I can't never chain to last because they have a thing where they score too. And maybe it does something else. I didn't read. I was basically pressing A just to get through that shit. I mean, I was trying to read, but then I realized like I don't care. Yeah. I was like, I just want to try it out to see if this game is fun. And yeah, at the end I start saying, like, okay, I'm getting it where I can shoot people, and then you block missiles, like somebody shoot a missile launcher at you, you can like use you can block it and hit it back at them. But it's very old. This game is like, I mean, this game is not old, but it feels old. It feels like yes, I would have probably maybe enjoyed this back in high school, right, on the PS2 or something. Like now it just feels, man, this is, I guess that's what they were going for, maybe. But I'm like, darn, man, this is just so many better games out there, and I'm just not seeing the appeal of this. It's definitely because, man, it's definitely not no Devil May Cry. Like if Devil May Cry never existed, even on PS2, like then yeah, this would probably be fun. But even on PS2, Devil May Cry existed. So I was like, nah, man, this ain't it. Like, I just don't like the controls aren't great for this action game. Like, Evil West is a better version. Like, I mean, a better way of playing something that's simple action game, but doesn't feel totally dated. But it feels good. Yeah, it feels good enough to play. I just don't see the fun. I don't have any fun playing this at all.
Gotcha.
Also, I picked up Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Oh, cool.
The Borderlands game that came out this year. It was a sale. I picked it up. My friend picked his up, and one day we'll find some time to play together. And I played a little bit of it, so I only played like the tutorial part. I actually probably still in the region of playing like a tutorial of the game. So it's like they're playing a Dungeons and Dragons like game, and basically they're using their imagination. Their imagination is you actually, playing a game like Borderlands. So, and then yes, there are guns, even though it's fantasy. They even joke about that. But your melee weapon is like an axe or something, like traditional fantasy. It feels like a Borderlands game, and I will just shoot around. I can't say if I like it one way or another because it's still very beginning. But it ran okay. It runs okay on my PC. It could be a little bit better. I probably could do some tweaks here and there on it. But I picked that up, so I'll be playing that for the foreseeable future. So I'll probably be talking about that. And last, I played the VR Iron Man that was on the Oculus Quest. I actually played this weeks ago. I just forgot to talk about it. And it's cool. It was very hard to control at first, like trying to stay afloat and fly around. I forget use the triggers or the A button. I forget what it was, A or X button on the controllers. But they do have a nice tutorial for you to play around with to get used to it. And eventually I got used to it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And it was cool, like doing the plane event where you plane was getting attacked by some type of robots or something, and you saving Pepper and like trying to keep the plane from crashing. That was fun to do. It's not great, but it's an enjoyable VR game.
Gotcha.
That it's all right. Like I was like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not the best thing. But just because I'm Iron Man and it has some of those features and stuff, it's like that's the appeal. The novelty of it is actually makes it better. That makes it like I can let the stuff that's pretty, like some of the mechanics that don't really work, I can let that go. It's cool, like also walking around your mansion and stuff. It's like, oh look, and it just feels so weird when I see humans like in front of me. I'm like, man, it's like Pepper's like, she is very tiny.
I was gonna
like,
say, it's like you're in the Stark suit still, I guess. So you're just
I'm out the Stark suit this time, and I'm like, no, she's your height, but I was like skinny. Like it's like I'm saying, like she's tiny. Like I could just throw her in the air or something. like it's just that's what I feel like a gust of wind to blow her away. It's like wee or something. I was like, good God, I said,
gotcha.
But it's pretty neat. I'm trying to predict what the story's going. I kind of think I know where it's going to go, but maybe it surprised me. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. What I played. So, what have you been playing?
All right, so I've been playing some of the Mario Kart 8 DLC, the new courses that they've added from like the Game Boy and the DS and the World Tour mobile game. I think there's also like a level or two that are like brand new. Unfortunately, the one that sticks out to me is like I remember it being a brand new thing because it didn't announce that it was from a different game. Was like this dessert kind of level where there's a whole bunch of ice cream and things around like that. And
Daniel, F you for naming ice cream and shit.
But like it's not particularly good. It uses like verticality a lot, and it makes it kind of hard to read like where I'm supposed to be going. But for the most part, it's just kind of remixes of old levels, some of which I'm like very familiar with, like the Game Boy Advance levels. There's some stuff from there that I'm glad to be playing again. Like they have a Sky Garden level that was like one of my favorite ones from that. So I think overall it's cool. I was telling you last week that I was hoping to hop on a family plan, and that's what I was able to end up doing. So I did not outright buy this DLC. I'm getting it through the Nintendo Online connection, which I think was smart on their part. It's definitely one of those things that like, oh yeah, it's an incentive to try out the online expansion pass stuff. And if it comes to a point where I lose access to those levels because I'm not paying for that online expansion pass anymore, like I'm probably going to have been done with this game by then anyway. So that works out perfectly fine for me. So yeah, I think that stuff's all right. I also played some... You didn't play any God of War this week, or were you just saving it until I talked about it?
I played so little of it that it ain't worth talking.
Yeah, I am still in need of a Lear. I was doing like the smokestack stuff and kind of this side story thing, but that's kind of the extent of my play with it as well, so not really much to talk about there. I did also beat Somerville, which is the side-scrolling kind of puzzle game from the former developer behind Inside and Limbo. I talked about that last week, kind of how I was falling away from it. And this week playing it, I know it's not a long game, so I thought I was pretty close to the end of it. But I wasn't quite near the end, close enough to the end of it as I wanted to be, because I constantly, every time it transitioned to a new thing, I was constantly hoping that the game was just over. It really just kind of didn't do much for me, and the story...
Really? That's disappointing, man. Damn.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, was disappointed, because, like, not only is the gameplay not particularly interesting, but the story isn't really either. Like, it's trying to do a weird thing, and I don't think it nails it at all, which is like you said, disappointing. Yeah, so it's just like, nah. As a Game Pass thing, it's worth giving it a shot, see if you like it, but I wouldn't outright just recommend anyone purchase that game, to be honest with you, it's really sad after like the amount of praise I've given Inside specifically.
What are other people saying about this game?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Let me see where it's sitting, even review-wise here. Metacritic. Somerville. Why? It's got a 72 on the PC and a 68 on the Xbox right now. So, yeah, that maybe sounds about right for what I would expect from critics on this. Yeah, now that I'm done it, I'm interested to see like what their problems were with it. But yeah, it really did not hit in the way that I thought it was. I thought it was going to. I was excited to play it, and then it didn't do it for me. So, yeah. Now, a game that did do it for me, Dominic, and you've talked about this previously, Vampire Survivors. I finally jumped in on that because you've praised that game. I've heard praise from a ton of outlets on that game. And yes, for such a simple concept of you just like auto-attacking a little guy on this like top-down screen with very little in the way of animation, it is just very, I don't know about addicting, but there's a layer to it there that just keeps you wanting to to get into it and to do the thing, because the feeling that I get when the little pop-up comes up that I've gained an upgrade because I've collected enough of those blue little jewels, like I'm like, all right, awesome, let's see what I can do now. Oh, I can add it so I have more of these holy Bibles flying around me. Hell yeah, let's do it. It can be a little frustrating when you're like starting to be surrounded and the weapons that you have aren't necessarily like doing the thing that you want them to do to get you out of that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, when you do have those weapons and you've got like the right loadout, it just feels awesome, like mowing down these waves and waves of enemies. Now, I will say I don't know. I don't even understand the progression of it yet. I haven't gotten to a different level. I've seen different enemies, kind of cycle through. And I think at the time they were like werewolves.
There is a different level.
Oh, okay. But it felt like it was starting to chug a little bit on my computer. Like it felt like it was struggling a little bit with how much was going on screen. And I don't know if that's a my computer thing.
Hey, you know what?
What?
Like the highest level I got to is like maybe being level as far as your character level was like 15.
Okay.
But thing is, I saw that you got the achievement. I don't know if I got the achievement for 10 minutes because it all depends. Because I got to level 15 under 10 minutes because I never had a thing where I survived. I mean, actually, I didn't check. I didn't check. I just didn't feel like I was thinking like, have I survived for more than 10 minutes on a stage? Because I don't think I have, but I got to level. I have got to 15 and not do that because I think you was at like level 10 but you had that achievement before that.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I don't think I got that
you don't
high
have to
in
level
the
up because if you just avoid people for forever and not get any blue crystals or whatever.
And that's kind of my strategy is like, I'm more of a guy that's like, I'm just trying to keep crowd control under control. I can come back eventually and get those blue gems. It doesn't seem like they disappear, which is nice. And I also
they don't disappear.
Noticed that there was a power up at one point that just like sucks all the blue gems off of the board to you, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So like a combination of that and then like getting a lot of really lucky like loot chest drops is what allowed me to survive as long as I did, because I got one that was like 5 upgrades and like 3 of the 5 were like the Holy Bible, which just like I said floats around you in a circle, and for me that feels like one of the most effective things that I've come across so far. Now
yeah, the game is fun, man. It's so much fun playing.
It's awesome. The whip. Do you find yourself if you're you initially start and you whip to the right? Well, you whip in front of you. For some reason, it feels like when I let off the stick, sometimes it takes me to the right. Like I feel like I'm lining up a shot to hit somebody on my left. And then all of a sudden I whip to the right and I get hit on my left, and I'm like, what the hell?
I don't know. I gotta play. I haven't played it in like 2 weeks now.
Okay. That's a game you play with the stick, not the D-pad, right?
Yeah, I played. Yeah,
I tried it a little bit with the D-pad, but like with as much as you're moving, it just felt much better to be playing with the stick. But yeah, I definitely understand why even with as like kind of simple a concept it is, I'm hearing a lot of places talk about it as far as like being in the game of the year conversation and stuff like that. It's definitely a really cool thing. In fact, I looked to see after I got done playing it to see if there was a Switch version, because for like I think $4 or $5 that the game is, like I'd maybe consider picking it up on the Switch as long as it runs decently. That would be my only concern, because if my PC is chugging a bit with this stuff, I can't imagine the Switch would hold up too well. But yeah, that game's awesome.
All right, so that's it.
That's it for me.
All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2012. And now we're going to just do the covers. There were some games that came out, but I'll just talk about those games next week. So, every new month, we do game magazine covers for that month. And now we're going through 2012, some of the game covers of 2012. So we're going to start with Nintendo Power. Nintendo Power had I think they had a special 25th anniversary issue. And they talking about New Super Mario Brothers U on front. Now they pay homage to the first issue, which was a claymation of Mario running from Koopa or wherever.
Yeah.
But now this is like a new one where there's actually Bowser up there and something like that. It's nice. Yeah, God, that's another pet peeve, man.
Looks beautiful.
It's you with cute. It's cute.
Sexy.
Yeah, I'm tired of that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please say that. All right.
Look at them legs. So long.
What else they got in here? They got a poster inside. I don't know what's a poster of. Probably Mario. Hopefully it's Peach nude poster in there, or at least in a bikini or something.
It's a poster of Miyamoto ripping this issue in half because it's the final one. Breaking my heart.
Is this the final issue?
Yep. Final issue.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize they said that. Oh, damn. Yep.
Going out the same way they came in, Dominic.
The greatest of all time. What did it mean? The greatest games of all time, which is, I guess, you know what? They didn't say Nintendo games. They said games.
Yeah, but it's still going to just be Nintendo games. And they're going to throw like Grand Theft Auto in there. That's why they got shut down, Dominic. They wanted to talk about other games. They're like, how about this Halo thing? And they're like, what'd you say? There's a dedicated
the source for Nintendo players straight from the pros.
Straight from the pros that we are firing right now because it's the last
end of an era, people. End of an era.
Yeah.
Print is dead.
Now it's all just podcasts and YouTube videos.
We got Edge Magazine in 2012, and we got Raiden on the front, looking badass. For Metal Gear Rising. For some reason, I wasn't really hyped for this game. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, the reason was because of Metal Gear. Now, thing is, I do like Devil May Cry, so that kind of action, that would be like, hey, I'll probably get a Metal Gear from at least the Devil May Cry mechanics.
Right.
And I forgot when I finally played it. I know we got it for free, but I felt like I played it before that. But it was all right. I never could find the time to play it. I never could find the time to put time in it. Like, say, hey, I'm going to beat this game. Every time I say, like, I'm going to start playing it, something else comes up. Something always happens. And I never gave it its due. And it got decent reviews. Like, it was actually pretty good. So I was like, darn, like, from a guy who I did not like really Metal Gear Solid 4. I think that's where I really fell off the Metal Gear Solid games. Yeah. After being like really huge on 1 and 2 and sort of huge on 3. Like, this would probably, this would be like one of those games like, hey, I like this part of the Metal Gear universe. But yeah, so they showing this off. This is probably just a preview. The game, did the game come out yet?
I don't remember us talking about it. So I don't think so.
Yeah. So maybe it's just still a preview. Yeah, these words too small here. What happens when two of Japan's finest studios, I'm about to say stallions, okay, one renowned for its purchased okay, I should zoom in probably. I'm hurting my eyes. You know what? Fuck what I've been reading. It doesn't seem like it's important anyway. All right, they got reviews for Dishonored, Resident Evil 6, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, XCOM Enemy Unknown, and Torchlight 2. There ain't not much else to say on it, though. I do like that cover.
Yeah, they always have nice, clean, simple covers with edge.
Yeah, they do. It's edgy.
It's edgy.
All right, all right, here's a big one. Grand Theft Auto 5. You get to see the preview of this. The most anticipated game at the time. Yes. I I think I saw this magazine because it was on the table at whatever store I was working at. Somebody had left it on the table. I was looking through it.
Mm-hmm.
But it showed you little snip previews of the game. Not really spoiling anything, like they do.
Yeah.
That's one thing good about the Anthology. They don't really spoil a lot. Always surprised me. But, yeah, I mean, I just cannot wait for this. We wouldn't see this game until almost a year, a little less than a year later. I think it's what, October, September? I want to say September.
That sounds right.
It came out 2013. It came close. Yeah, it came right before the new consoles came out. I know that. But yeah, it was pretty funny because like the biggest game ever is not on the next gen consoles yet. And then it did, and it became the biggest game ever on those consoles too. But yeah, I mean, people couldn't wait. Like you're talking about, people love San Andreas. So they were thinking like, oh yeah, we're back in California, sunny California. You get to do all this stuff now. You get to do of course the plane should be better. Everything looks more realistic. And I mean, it was just like you were expecting so much from this. Like, man, this game is going to be huge. So much stuff, dense. Like how much stuff was going to be in here. I mean, oh god, it was. Yeah, and it for me it did expectations. Like it blew my mind. Like it even blew my mind for what they actually had in the game.
Mm-hmm. And
I didn't realize the online was going to be as big as it was. I was definitely expecting to get some
in a bad way.
I was expecting some DLC for single player, and I never came because y'all love that online shit.
Here, play this heist.
It ruined it for me. Yeah, heist that it's just that when somebody quits is over. You have to have friends to do it with, and it's just that as an adult, it's just harder to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we at here? That is it for 2012. So now we're going to 2002. Now here's the magazine cover that we forgot to put up last week.
Yeah. Last month.
Last month. Yeah, I'm sorry. Last week is last month. We had time to put it up there. We should have saw that. We forgot. You had for Game Informer. This was huge because this was the world premiere of StarCraft Ghosts, a game that never officially came out. I remember having this magazine. I remember reading it while I went to the laundromat one time. I was washing my clothes, and I was just reading this magazine, waiting for my clothes to wash. Third-person shooter. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And you're going to play as this woman who's a ghost, who's one of those characters that you use in StarCraft that usually you use to espionage. Basically, they can turn invisible and do things where the enemy can't see them. So now you're playing as this character, and the graphics look nice on it.
Yeah.
And I was so happy it wasn't an Xbox exclusive. I was like, oh, thank God, it's on PS2 also. I said, yes, I can't wait to play this game. I was like, yeah, I want to play this. And look at this. And when you going through the magazine, seeing the game, it just looked so good at the time. And I was like, oh, I want to play this. Blizzard Storm's the console front.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it as being that the first time that Blizzard was actually putting stuff out on consoles. I think there was StarCraft 64 or something like that, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wonder how that played, honestly, because I was always confused. How do you play StarCraft on 64 when I was young? I was like, how would that even work?
Yeah.
Now I know how, and it's horribly, but But I wonder at the time, was it good enough? Was it good enough for people to be on 64? But anyway, here we go. Microsoft acquires Rare. That was another big article that was in this magazine. I remember reading that. And I was like, oh my God, Nintendo sells stake in legendary developer. And I was like, oh my God, Microsoft is going to have Rare now. And I thought that was a huge deal. It was a huge deal.
It was a huge deal until they started making avatars.
Well, darn, that was years later. You were expecting some huge things from Rare. You got some games, but they tend to be mediocre. Only the Conker's Bad Conker game remake was probably the most decent thing I can think of. But Yeah, man. I was thinking like Microsoft's getting a whole bunch of like platformers, and like it's like, are they gonna be like Nintendo
And
having
even
this?
when they did come out with the Banjo-Kazooie, it was like, here, build these vehicles.
Yeah, nuts and bolts was very. Yeah, it was a weird concept. It wasn't bad. I mean, they got reviewed pretty well.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, I look back a little more fondly than how I felt about it originally. Like, I give it a little more lenience now for not being that thing and being more creative than that. But at the time, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted a platform.
That's what I don't think that's what anybody wanted. I think people wanted, like, hey, we wanted what we know Rare for.
Yeah.
we want a platform.
Rip off Nintendo games.
Like, yes, we want the get Nintendo CAD. We want that. Never really got there. But and now Rare is it's a name, but I think I don't know what to do now.
Yeah,
honestly, I mean, they do stuff. I guess I don't know. Maybe they clean the offices or something. I don't know what they do
because they're not even working on Perfect Dark, right? It's one of the other studios.
Yeah, that's right. Damn, Daniel, I totally forgot about Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Maybe we'll see it at Game Awards or something. I don't know.
I was hoping, honestly, I want to see Gears before I see that. I mean,
yeah.
If I had to choose one, I mean, hey, show both. But darn, I wanted to finish that story in Gears. All right, what else I got here? Star Ocean 3. Yeah, I mean, or if you listen to this podcast, you already know how I feel about Star Ocean.
I like that it's Enix's answer to Final Fantasy, when the reality is Enix's answer to Final Fantasy is buying Square.
Yeah, so that's what it was. Enix bought Square, not Square bought Enix.
I think technically they merged, but I think Enix was the bigger player.
I know they were more
there.
popular in Japan than Square.
Yeah,
Enix was.
Because I was surprised by that. I was like, why did Enix, like, why is Enix the bigger name here? And it was because they were bigger
the Japanese
in Japan.
level. Yeah, we didn't care for them.
Yeah.
What else? Tokyo Game Show report. See Japan's hottest new titles and some of the hotties because they still had those there. Actually, I don't know about Japan if they still got
them down. They don't give a shit.
Oh, so yeah, Americans, we're the ones who just we regressed or progressed. I guess I should say. I don't know.
Lord,
I guess it all depends on your perspective. It's all perspective, isn't it? All right. Let's see what else we got here. We got PlayStation Magazine, the unofficial PlayStation Magazine, and they got a motorcycle on the front for Midnight Club 2, for the makers of Grand Theft Auto 3, another of those Rockstar games that we used to come out on the PlayStation 2 days, and now it's just gone. I never played it, Midnight Club. I played the Smuggler's Run, though, and Smuggler's Run 2, but I never played Midnight Club. But I always wanted to play 3 when it had dub in there because it's just all flashy. It's like, oh, look, the wheels are spinning. I was like,
Midnight Club and Project Gotham were two that I always, like, confused between.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What else we got here? Oh, look at this, Daniel. Final verdict: Ratchet and Clank versus Sly Cooper. We picked the best PS2 platformer. I like they left Jack and Daxter out, bastards. They said, "Fuck them." They that sucks. Actually, Jack and Daxter 2 didn't even come out yet. But I guess it is. Well,
I wonder what their final verdict was. Had to be Ratchet and Clank, right?
Yeah, it had to be Ratchet and Clank. And what else we got here? America's best-selling PS2 magazine. Darn, it's being out the official one, Daniel. They said, "Fuck you," the official one. Probably was cheaper. I wonder how much this one cost. The official one should have came with
demos or whatever, right? So like that shouldn't have been the case.
It did. Yeah, that's right. It did come with demos. Shucks. Darn, that is bad. That is bad. You let the unofficial one just like because
they just had burned copies of the demos in there.
I mean, I think those early covers of PSM with some of those scantily clad John ladies, they got them people to get them.
I don't know. This guy's showing some thigh right here. Like that's impressive.
All right, Shinobi reviewed Ninja Magic. We got a bone to pick with Sega.
Ooh.
Oh, that I don't think that's a good thing. Jesus,
yeah, look at that. Sonic he got a 40 out of 100.
I know. I don't think that's what it means. Silent Hill 3, bone-chilling new screens and details.
Yeah, the game looked incredible.
They also got Tokyo. It did. Tokyo Game Show. First look at new Final Fantasy, Virtual On, and more. So I'm thinking that's Final Fantasy 12. Because 11, I think, either already came out or was already shown. One or the other. Did we talk about 11? I know we talked about EverQuest on PS2.
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think we ever talked about 11 yet. But I wonder if they're talking about that one. I'm not sure. All right, NBA Deathmatch. Look at all these NBA games. And all of them dead except for 2K. All right. I don't even remember starting 5.
No.
NBA starting 5. I don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
All right. So what we got here? We got Game Pro magazine 2002. Here we go. This is huge. Because Dragon Ball Z Budokai, coming to PS2. Like, not a lot of people really knew about the Dragon Ball Z games that came on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I know I didn't. And like, some people were really watching it.
That was about it.
Yeah. So, like, you start seeing Dragon Ball Z shows, but nobody really had any games. So this is like really like the first big game that people really got to really played with Dragon Ball Z, and people, they couldn't wait for this. I couldn't wait for this either. My friend ended up getting it, and I played it, and then I was disappointed because it wasn't really what I thought. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I was just, for some reason, when I saw how it looked, I saw the pictures of it. I was like, oh man, I wish it looked like the Street Fighter Alpha, like anime look, you know? So I was disappointed in that. But then thought, hey, it's Dragon Ball Z, so I was like it. But playing the controls and everything, I just could not get into it like that. But if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you didn't care. You figured it out because you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, and you just like that stuff. You like horrible anime. So that's what I say. Did you play this one, Budokai?
I know I've touched it at some point, but I can't even remember what I played enough of it to comment.
Oh yeah, we got some holiday hoops, so they doing the same thing. And yep. I wouldn't know what starting 5 is, Daniel. What is starting 5?
It up. I don't. It's made by Konami.
Konami. Oh yeah, they were doing sports games, man. Those were the days, man. God, even the Japanese were even making the sports games like that. And now they just do. Now Konami just do the winning 11 or something like that, soccer.
It's something else now, but yeah, I forget what it's called.
All right. Look, they got Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. You got the Kingdom Hearts. There you go. The Beast, which is coincidentally is the 30th anniversary of that, and it's supposed to be like a big special happening for the Beauty and the Beast Disney movie.
Did not know.
And Star Fox Adventures. There you go. Your favorite Star Fox game.
Yes.
All right. What else we got here? We got PC Gamer. And here we go. Doom 3. The full inside story. Oh man, look at those graphics.
It's incredible awesome. At the time, Dominic. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Did you believe that was an in-game screenshot?
I would not have believed it. I don't even know if it still is right here, honestly. But it does say it right here.
It does.
Yeah. Back then, when I used to see screenshots for that Doom, I was like, wow. And thing is, I'm thinking it. Honestly, I thought Doom 3 was going to be what we have Doom now with the new Dooms. I did not know it was going to be like survival type of horror like thing that scared the shit out of me. And I was so like, I'm trying to think where I first played it. Oh, I first played it on Xbox, and it was like years later.
Yeah.
When it came, like I got it by 2004 or 5. 2005, I got an Xbox finally, and because it was cheap, and then I got Doom. It was cheap, like so I was getting everything used. And then I finally tried Doom 3. I was like, yes, I finally can play this. I said, oh man, this game looks good. But then I just saw like, oh okay, some scary stuff happening now. I said, okay, we're gonna get to the action. And then I realized each room was just like something scary. I said, okay, I'm stop playing. I said, this is not. I was like, why aren't you just shooting? Why can I hold the flashlight and the gun at the same time? It's like, man, I did not Yep, I still got that game and have not beaten it. I haven't got close to beating it. Honestly, I don't even know this game have levels. It's just one. It doesn't have levels, do it? Is it just like Chronicles of Riddick or something like that?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I've never beaten it either.
Oh,
my PC at the time struggled with it hard, and I'd never really played it anywhere else.
PC, that was really a graphics score kind of thing, man. I mean, with that game, like that was really showing off the graphics of like the PCs.
Yeah,
that's why I was happy it was on Xbox, and it was mad it was not on the PS2. All right. So where are we at here? Anything else up here worth saying? Oh, the world's best-selling PC game magazine.
Of course, it's a special edition.
And not announced really. All right. So next we got here is Game Informer.
Yeah.
And The Matrix.
Uh-huh.
We're going to enter The Matrix, baby. Matrix, the movie was going to come out the next May in 2003. So yeah, they talked about the game. I was into this because I really was. I mean, the movie was like the most anticipated movie at that time.
Yeah,
like with the Matrix. So turned that this was going to be like a little prequel to the movie and something like that. Like it really, or kind of mixed in with the movie.
Yeah, it was canonical.
That was cool. Yeah,
everybody.
And that like what's her name?
Jada Pinkett.
JP Smith. Yeah, before she became a bitch. I was really I really liked her, and I was like, oh yes, you get to be her in here too. That's awesome. And some Asian dude who
I think his name was Ghost.
Cool.
Actually, now that I think about it, we were talking about Ghost earlier. Somebody in this game's name was Ghost.
Yeah, that sounds like something that'd be Matrix. But yeah, man, and honestly, I did play the game. I played the game and beat the game, and I think I liked it at the time. I have no idea if this really was a good game or not, though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. But at the time, I did like it, and then I did like it more than the movie because apparently the movie was it was okay, like, but it was like story wise, I was like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But the game I did enjoy. I did enjoy playing that. We got the Holly's Buyer's Guide. I used to love these because they were always show things I could not afford. and to this day, I can still say that.
Yep. Same.
I also got must-read reviews. I got reviews of all these games that we talked about all this time. So there you go. And now we're going to 30 years. We're going back long ways to Game Informer 1992. We got Chester Cheetah on the front. Up here in front of Santa Claus. He said, get the fuck out of here, Rudolph. I'm leading this sleigh. And there you go. You got special pigskin preview. You see all the football games out there. You also got Game Informer's Buyer's Guide then. I definitely could not afford it because I didn't know the concept of money back then. Sega Super Season, Sonic 2, and Sega CD are here. Oh, wow. And, oh, yes. And speaking of that, happy 30th anniversary Sonic 2. I forgot to mention that last week. That was huge because that game, I still vaguely remember the Christmas I got it. I know that was the only Sega game I got that and during that Christmas, and I played the shit out of that game. Wasn't probably till a year or so I beat it, but yeah, man, it was so awesome playing that game. I mean, I remember like playing with Tails. The first thing I was really disappointed was that I could not fly. I was so bad because I saw Tails flying when you're playing a Sonic and Tails, and he comes flying on the screen. I was like, why can't I fly? I was like, why can't he fly as Tails? But it was cool because I could play, my friend could play as Tails, he couldn't fly, but we could play at the same time. So it was cool because I was like, hey, you go up there, hit the enemy, even though you die, you come back. I'll just try to survive until you come back while you hit them so we can still live. And yeah, that was so cool doing that. Oh man, yeah. And also the 2-player mode where you're on the freaking half pipe running thing, that was pretty crazy. That was pretty fun. And the 2-player mode competitive when one person's on the top and you're another person on the bottom. One's Tails, one's Sonic, and you're on the stage, a variation of a stage that's in the game, and whoever gets to the end of the level first wins. And that was cool. That was fun doing that. And oh man, those were the times. Oh man, those were some great Christmas times. I think I was in second grade. Yes, I was in second grade, man. Good God. I think her name was Miss Rouse at the time. Now that I remember her now, I'm thinking she probably was pretty hot. But I wasn't really into like older women then.
I would hope not.
Wait a minute. I think it's okay for a boy to be older as an older woman, just as long as they don't be into you.
Sure.
All right. So here's another one. Actually, no, I didn't finish really talking about that one, but I already left it. It wasn't anything else on the front of that.
Just the most important thing. Just Chester Cheetah. Probably a better game than your Sonic 2 or whatever.
$3.95 for this magazine, which is about like $1,000 today. They were quality stuff back then. Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Another magazine, Game Pro, 30 years ago, with Chester Cheetah on front too, and a Christmas outfit also, which is like, what is this going on here? Like, Chester Cheetah is just paying everybody off. He's like, y'all gonna show off my game. And yeah, so the game is called Chester Cheetah, what's it called? Too Cool to Fool. And did you see any reviews on this? Did anybody talk about it? Was this a great game or anything? Yeah, I never heard this. I did have that magazine though. I remember having that magazine for Game Informer, but I was also in second grade, so I wasn't really reading a lot. I was looking at pictures, so I couldn't say one way like if it was a good. They didn't review it or anything. But this basically, this 30-year-old magazine, it had a full pull-out section for Street Fighter 2 Super Nintendo Strategy Guide.
Nice.
That's huge. Also Score Big, hardware helpers, stocking stuffers. Oh, they got a little buyer's guide in there too. Or CD reviews. Look at that, Daniel. CD-ROM was just coming up. Sega CD Night Trap, Black Hole Assault, Turbo Super CD Loom. I don't know what the hell that is. But Night Trap, man, I remember seeing that on the news and doing something was bad about it. I didn't really understand what was bad about it. I think some girls wearing some underwear. And I guess they didn't like that.
They didn't like that.
But yeah, the Chester Cheetah game, I mean, it looks like a basic platformer. Yeah. But it was on Genesis and Nintendo Super
game
Nintendo.
From that era, I'm sure.
Which is funny. They say Super Nintendo, Too Cool to Fool on Super Nintendo, but they're showing this Sega Genesis one right here. Why couldn't they miss the Sega? That's bias, Daniel. Bias.
Good. Show the superior console.
All right, and look at this. This was more, Daniel. See, Game Pro, they were the number one game magazine at the time. Number one. Man. They were $4.95, man. Woo! That's like $2,000 back in the day. And that is it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. Not a whole lot this week, but a couple of things. Monster Hunter Rise is making its debut on the PlayStation and Xbox on January 20th, previously out only on the PC and Switch. So finally, you can find that on a console that can probably run it decently. Although I feel like the Switch didn't. People didn't say it.
But I was thinking it was built for the Switch, to be honest with you. That's why I was surprised it was on the PC.
Yeah.
So it was just a deal. Was it just a deal to be on the Switch, or what? Or was it really
just a deal? Because like you said, I thought it was like developed for the Switch, but
because they got the Ice one.
Because everybody else got World and then the DLC
and the Ice one. What was the Ice one called?
Yeah.
Ice World. I was called Ice World. Shit.
Icewind Dale.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they were just given that as like the side story thing, and then they were like, well, I mean, people were going to buy it, so let's just put it out on everything else too.
Oh, okay.
So that's good for Monster Hunter fans. Go ahead, Capcom.
Do your thing.
Yep. You also got Neon White is finally coming to the PS4 and PS5 December 13th. That was previously PC and Xbox and Nintendo Switch exclusive, so everything but PlayStation, I guess. I think that's really smart of them because this feels like a game that has kind of been on the fringes of talk of Game of the Year discussions. And I think by putting this out a lot closer to those discussions, I think it kind of reminds people a little more and could allow that game to get its foot in the door a little more than it might have otherwise.
Neon White, is it on Xbox?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Okay.
Maybe it's only Switch and PC.
PC.
I thought it. Actually, now that you say that, I think I looked it up before the podcast, and yeah, it was only PC and Switch. Yeah, it's not on Xbox. Because that's one of those games we've talked about where I feel like once it is on Xbox, it's going to be a Game Pass thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Which is
why I'm apprehensive about getting it anywhere else. Because it seems like a cool game, but I don't know that it's something that I'm going to spend a lot of time with. But it does seem cool. So, all right. We also have Frictional Games. They are the makers of the Amnesia series. They've announced a new Amnesia game, Amnesia: The Bunker, which takes place in a World War I bunker where you're a French troop and you're seeing some scary shit. That's coming out March 2023. They're saying it's a semi-open world thing, which, I mean, if you're stuck in a bunker, it can't be that open world. But yeah, those games always seem for like that audience to be pretty cool. But I am not that audience, Dominic. I don't like my nerves being rattled in that sort of way, especially because like the Amnesia games, they don't typically give you a way to fight back. It's always like run from this thing. Yeah, and my heart can't take that anymore, Dominic. Oh. It's weak. It's weak.
Yeah, I never played the Amnesia game. I just watched it during like a Halloween month on that Dan's Gaming Twitch channel. That's the only thing I've ever seen on Amnesia.
All right, Dominic. Nintendo has finally broken its silence on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the abysmal state that it is launched in. Basically, as a addendum to the announcement of a patch for numerous things, not any of which are like the drastic issues that game has. They said, "We take the feedback from players seriously and will continue to work on improvements to the game." Now, considering that the feedback from the players is also that this is the fastest selling Pokemon game ever and fastest selling Nintendo game ever, I don't know that the feedback from the players saying that it's an ugly mess is really going to mean anything to them.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much more time shitting on Pokemon. We've talked about it at length last week, but I thought it was interesting that Nintendo finally said something about it, even though they obviously aren't going to say, yeah, fuck Pokemon Company, they created a shitty game. All right. And then the other kind of big event from this week, Dominic, Fortnite, their Chapter 3 has ended with another one of their big kind of live events that they had yesterday.
You got Chapter 11, right?
Yeah. Yes, they're filing for Chapter 11. So in that, kind of the island was split into many pieces, and part of that event was gathering them and pulling them back together. So Chapter 4 is beginning, I believe, today as we're recording this. I think they took like a 12-hour kind of downtime. And as part of that, one moment. Ooh. All right. Ugh. Excuse me. All right. And as part of that, they've announced new skins like Geralt from the Witcher series, Doomslayer from Doom, and some My Hero Academia skins. I think I saw Deku specifically. So continuing the trend of all of your favorite brands being included in Fortnite. But it seems like there's also going to be like kind of a remixed island. So people who are avid Fortnite players should be excited for that. Seems pretty cool. They do incredible work for that game. You have to admit that. Like, they're constantly.
No, you don't.
Adding,
you do not have to admit that.
Other companies who are their competition have to admit that. Me as a consumer, I don't have to admit shit. Yes. So what I'm saying, best ongoing game, Fortnite. All right. So this week, Dominic, are going to be the Jeff Keighley Awards, the video game awards, on the 9th of December here. Is it the 9th? What is Thursday?
The Fair
The
Unbiased
8th.
Awards.
Sorry. Yes, the Fair
I don't care what the
Unbiased.
internet says. I don't care what the internet says.
Only for Kojima Awards.
Nah, it didn't win. It didn't win it. And you know, his the Kojima game. Death
But
Stranding
did he
didn't
win
that
Best
year.
Director?
He maybe I don't
feel like
even
he might
remember.
have won Best Director. Which
He
actually
probably
would be
was
the best
mentioned more
director if
times,
you didn't
though.
win the best
He
game.
probably still was mentioned more times than I showed than anything, though.
All right. So we're just going to run down a few of the kind of major categories there to see what our thoughts and feelings are on that. I'm actually going to scroll down to the bottom here so we don't start with Game of the Year. Best debut indie game. They've got Neon White, which we were just talking about, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors, which we also mentioned earlier. Do you have any strong feelings about any of these, Dominic?
All right, let me look at because I'm still at the top. All right, Neon White. Strong feelings about Stray, yes, because I don't like cats, so
yes.
I don't want that to win. And no, I like this list. Other than Stray is good. It's like this list is all right, man.
Yeah, it's solid.
I really have no I don't really have any strong tellings of like who should win because I didn't beat any of these games. I played 3 of these games. Technically, actually, I played all 4 of them.
Yeah,
5. I forgot about Vampire Stars.
Yeah,
5 of them. But yeah, I mean, what's done's definitely better. So far, I think Narco or Tunic would be the least of the list. And the others, you can go pick them.
Yeah, I feel like the talk in the industry around this stuff is I would probably put Vampire Survivors as the likely candidate to win. With, like you said, I'd probably say Norco near the bottom. Tunic, there's the elements of Tunic that I think got a lot of people talking. The more like puzzly solving stuff. But yeah,
whatever. Because people don't run with a read. That's why Narco should be better than Tunic.
Exactly. So I would say that's probably Vampire Survivors to lose. Next up, because we did best debut indie, best indie, you have Cult of the Lamb, Neon White.
Oh my God!
Sifu.
Now I'm thinking. Okay. Time out.
What's up?
This is retarded. This is. I mean, what the hell? Just say best indie, like, because then it's like, they made a game before, but they're still indie, and we got a separate category for that. No. So you're telling me Vampire Survivors shouldn't be in best indie? So that tells Daniel Vampire Survivors cannot win it. Then
You're not wrong.
Because best indie debut should go to either Tunic or Stray or Neon White.
Right.
Because they're in best indie category.
But wait. Further to that, you know who is in Game of the Year contention?
Okay, no, we go wait. We'll wait for that. We'll wait for that, Daniel.
So I think that that makes it, by that logic, which I don't think they're following any logic, but by that logic, there is one name on this list that can win these 2 categories. So yeah,
I don't even know what the best. Honestly, I don't even remember what the best games are. Yeah. Honestly, so it's all new to me right now.
It's a flawed system, Dominic. All right.
Yeah. I'm already angry, just like the internet people. I'm already angry, Daniel.
I feel like we go through this every year because I think sometimes they do
every year my blood pressure goes up.
Game of the Year, but it's like not in best action game or something like that.
God.
So
this is why I stopped looking at the movie award stuff, the Oscar stuff. I stopped it. I was like, I don't give a shit anymore. Don't tell me this thing won best. I don't give a damn. Whatever. Maybe nominations. I care more about nominations than the winners. I say, if you tell me nominated, okay, that's good enough for me.
There you go.
Because I picked the wrong winners anyway.
It's just an honor to be nominated.
Yeah.
All right, next up, best family game. Nintendo has this category locked down with the exception of Nintendo Lego. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. They have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3, Dominic.
Such a beta company, isn't it? This is such a beta company.
What is it with you using beta now?
I saw it on internet, Daniel. But
I need to get off of those corners of the internet now.
But yeah, hopefully Lego Star Wars win just because. I don't
just despite
just because. Just because there's a bunch of Nintendo over here. Fucking Switch Sports. Damn it.
All right, next up, best fighting game, DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Wait a minute, why is it Pokemon? Well, Pokemon came out too late.
What's that?
Pokemon came out too late, right?
I guess. Yeah, I think, Keighley actually does have like specific date ranges for what qualifies like a real...
Oh, but their Arceus couldn't be a family game?
I guess not, I guess not, because it is nominated in other categories, so it's definitely a game that is in contention, but apparently it does not meet the family game standards.
All right. What's the next category we got here?
All right. Best fighting game, DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters, 15, Multiverses, and Sifu.
Sifu, wow.
The game where you fight, but it is not a fighting game.
Fighting game. Yeah, okay. Well, sorry, Sifu. I mean, it's up to them, Sifu, but they shouldn't have put you in there. But it's good. I mean, it's good on your resume, though.
Yeah.
But
Game of the Awards nominee.
I played all these except for DNF. I think DNF is the only one I didn't play. I thought I did play that though.
I thought you did too.
I know I did King of Fighters. I tried King of Fighters, and I said it doesn't feel good to me. I mean, it's not my type of fighting game. It feels kind of old. Like if you're a King of Fighters fan, I think maybe you like it. I've never been a King of Fighters guy, so this is really like every now and then I try King of Fighters game, and I always say the same thing, like this is not something I want to keep playing.
Yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is just weird. It was weird. I like the look of it though. But
that's one of the really 3D kind of arena style fighting games.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, but it has the animation and the art style is very like comic booky, or I guess Magna book. I don't know how you say that. Magna booky. Like, so I thought the look of it is really cool. For that Multiverses, I did enjoy. I thought that was a surprise, and I do like that. Sifu, I like that game, but I don't know if I'll put it in the fighting game category. Yeah. So I'm curious. I don't know who will win. Honestly, I do not know who will win out of this. I mean, I would say I don't think Sifu's going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is going to win.
I think it's between Multiverses. Honestly, I could see it being DNF Duel though.
Yeah, I think it's between DNF Duel, King of Fighters, and Multiverses being it. DNF Duel. Let me type that in my Microsoft search here. Maybe I do got it on my chart here somewhere.
Yeah.
Nope. Unless I deleted it.
All right. Next category, Dominic, best role-playing game. We have Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay. So there's Arceus.
This is a lock for Elden Ring, right?
No, I was looking at Xenoblade. This is the battle. That's the ultimate battle, Daniel.
Yeah.
Xenoblade fans versus the Elden Ring people.
I mean, honestly, both of those are in Game of the Year, so it could be a toss-up
God
there.
damn it, Dan, you spoiled it for me.
Sorry. I just feel like the talk around Elden Ring is like it is one of the top games of the year, regardless of anything else. You know, people are talking about that versus like God of War and Xenoblade. Obviously, like the Xenoblade faithful are definitely hyping that game up, but I just don't know that the crowd around that is big enough to counter something like an Elden Ring or a God of War or whatever other games would be at the top of the list. They should just
surprise everybody and say Live Alive or Lava Live or Lava Live, whatever the hell it's called. Win it.
Yes, the Nintendo game that is being revisited so many years later.
They should put Persona 5 Royale up here just because PC people never played it.
There you go.
The Xbox people never played it.
Never played it on the Switch before.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Dominic, best action adventure game: A Plague Tale: Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic.
All right. I think we can say Stray.
So all right. Absolutely.
It's like, no, I think God of War Ragnarok's going to win.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's out of these games. Like Horizon was a big game, but when it came out, the talk kind of stopped there.
Yeah, I think some people are just saying, "Hey, it's more the same."
Yeah, and while I'm hearing that about Ragnarok 2, it's just the bigger title. Like Plague Tale Requiem seems all right, but I just don't know that it has the name cachet to hold up against a God of War or a Horizon Forbidden West.
And some I played of the old Plague Tale. That game's all right, man. I actually like it. I like the playing with the fire with the rats more so than trying to hide from the soldiers. I really that part is just so. I just find that boring for me because it's just like it's nothing. It's just more annoying. It's like I want to get. I'd rather try to get away from the rats and try to figure out how I'm supposed to get away from the rats.
Yeah,
because man, you know how many times I've got me and my brother killed. Man, that's just it's just yeah, those rats, man. They are vicious. Good God, man, I would shit my pants if I seen rats like that. Good God. I'd be like, yo, come on, man. Do you have cyanide pills in this time? Like, can I just take one of those? Because I do not. I mean, I'd rather just die, but I don't want to die being eaten alive. Just because there's like no way hell I'm gonna live through this.
Little nibbles at a time. Ugh.
Yeah,
gross.
All right, now they seem like they eat pretty fast, but still, I was like, it's still pain. That's really painful.
It's still tiny. I mean, think about how big they can bite. Like, that's not a lot. It's still gonna be. Unless they go straight for the jugular or something, like,
yeah,
this can be painful. All right. Sorry. All right. Next up, best action: Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
All right. So the one I'm going to be biased to is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Sifu.
Yeah.
I'm going to be buying against those. Those are the ones
against them.
No, I'm for them. I mean, I'm biased for them. Neon White. I mean, I want to buy Neon White winning. I don't want Bayonetta 3 or Call of Duty to win. Actually, Bayonetta 3, I have nothing against it. Honestly, I don't know why I even said that. Just Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
You're in support of Helena. What's her name? The original voice actress.
That's too messy for me. I'll let other people deal with that.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Dominic, best VR.
Call of Duty, I do like the meme. You know, the meme of the Call of Duty, the ghost face. I do like that meme. So you know what? It should win for that. It should win for the meme.
All right.
Because I also love it when people laugh at it. Like, what movie is this from? I love everybody always asks, where's this movie is this from? It's like, man, I mean, not everybody's going to know what it's from, but it's just funny because then I see the comments and people always be saying, what movie they like make up a movie that has nothing to do with the show.
Goodfellas. It's from Goodfellas.
Yeah, it's
all right. Next up, Dominic, best VR as our VR expert. Which one do you like the best? After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, or Red Matter 2?
damn. I played none of these.
I was going to say, I don't know that you've got a chance to play any of these.
Yeah,
yet.
because Moss I'm not going to touch until I meet Moss 1.
Yeah.
And Red Matter 2 looked a little scary when I was looking at the preview on the Quest. After the Fall is the
Left 4 Dead alike?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a little scary too. But
okay.
But I think it's more action in that one.
Yeah.
I think it's more action in that one. Among Us, I haven't tried that yet. Bone Lab, I heard some great things from Bone Lab.
Yeah.
Like people are making games from Bone Lab though. See, that's not even fair. Man, it's like Bone Lab. People are making things like that should probably win, honestly, because people are making games within that game because it's like you can do anything almost in that thing.
Yeah. All right. Next up, best performance. You have Ashley Birch from Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney from A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok, Manon Gage from Immortality, and Sonny Soljic from God of War Ragnarok.
All right. Christopher, which one is he?
He is Kratos. And Sonny, I believe, is the boy.
The racial ambiguous one. Okay. I liked him in Stargate. He's good in Stargate.
Ah, yes. He was in that, yeah.
That's why I find it weird when I see him now with hair. It's like, what the hell is this guy? Who else is that? It's
yeah. Immortality is a game that I'd like to get around to trying out. It is on Game Pass.
What is that about?
It's another one made by Sam Barlow, so it's kind of this similar in concept to Her Story and telling lies and those kind of things. Where
was the best looking person on this list that should win? That's all I'd say.
What's that?
Where was the best looking?
Oh, okay.
That's the best looking actor or actress, whatever one.
I will not be the judge of that, so fans.
Well, I don't even know what these faces look like, so I
can tell you this much: the picture that they have of Christopher Judge on this page is awful. Like, it is real bad. Let me see if I can pull it up for you real quick.
No, don't scare me like that.
It's fine. I'm gonna put all of them on here so you can make your decision. They are very attractive people all around. Very, very white people all around. Let's see. All right. It's just like the picture that they took of him.
Oh yeah, that's a bad picture, man.
It's like, so I'm calling my grandkids on FaceTime. Like, that's the picture that they got for him. Meanwhile, all the rest of them are just headshots. Like, why would they do that to somebody?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next up, best score in music, A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I wish I could get into Metal Hellsinger. I really do. I just could not find the beat. But I know people were angry, though, that Sonic Frontiers was not on this list.
Oh, really?
Apparently. Yeah, and just in other categories too, man. Like those, I say I want to call them Sonic fans, but see, I don't consider them Sonic fans because they think that's a great game. I'm like, if you don't like the Genesis ones, it's like, no, you're post Dreamcast Sonic fans. Y'all are different. You're different. You're not the same as us.
I don't know. I was listening to Jeff Gerstmann's podcast, and he said Sonic Frontiers may be the best mainline Sonic game, including the Genesis games.
Whatever, Daniel. Whatever.
I would still argue that Sonic Mania, if you're going any direction, is probably better than Sonic Frontiers.
But I don't know. I can't really say because
for me, music's hard. I don't have the ear for that stuff. So
I have the ear for it. I just didn't play these games enough to have an ear.
Yeah.
I just like Elden Ring. I like the intro. Going Ragnarok, I haven't played enough of it to. The music I hear so far is not memorable.
Yeah.
I'm not humming anything. Xenoblade Chronicles, actually, I wouldn't be surprised. I would like Xenoblade Chronicles better than that, just because some of that anime music stuff, it just gets stuck in your head. You be like, I like it.
Yeah.
Like House Singer, I mean, hey, you like metal music? Yeah, that's, I don't know. I mean, those are real.
Yeah, that's
like bands and stuff.
Kind of doesn't fit in this category even because like the rest of it is like probably orchestral music. Meanwhile, Metal Hellsinger is like licensed songs in some cases.
No, Elden Ring, they play in like local bars.
Okay.
The people that
got it on the jukebox. It's
No, they be the other band comes in. They fit all like 120 people in there. Is on there.
Nice.
Like, the local pub.
Next up, Best Art Direction: Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray. There are a lot of these lists that are very, very similar with like one random difference here, in this case being Scorn. That game has an aesthetic to it, and it makes a visual choice that differentiates it from other things, but I don't think it's necessarily a good visual choice. I would just say
Stray because of the neon lights. Like that's the only... and... I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. That's just something I leave to other people. It's that's something I would be arguing about.
Yeah.
That's not. No, I say my arguments.
Difficult for me is like Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, and Horizon are all things that we've seen done already and don't necessarily bring anything new to the table there. So.
Pretty much.
All right. Best Narrative, we have A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality again.
What is this? Best Narrative?
Best Narrative. A little hard for us to judge when we haven't beaten any of these games.
I think Elden Ring shouldn't even been on this list, but whatever.
I was going to ask you, having played the little bit that you have of it, like, does it do things differently from Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
I think from what I've seen, yes, like it does
have more story narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say that's not going to win.
It's going to sweep everything down. All right, next up, Best Game Direction: Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray. Stray's hanging around, Dominic. It's got to win something.
Yeah, it does.
Best Cat in a video game. That's what that game wins. Yeah, I don't know if this is like, we'll give it to Sam Barlow because, he's a name that you know. Because, like, even God of War Ragnarok, it's not Cory Barlog working on that game anymore as far as... And now I guess it's not Best Game Director either. This is Best Game Direction, so it's... What does that mean in comparison to, like, a game of the year? Like, how is the best directed game different from the best game?
I don't know. And I mean, I guess you got to ask about, like, best director versus best picture.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, from there, but see, I always thought, I used to think like, hey, these are professional people who do those awards, and they understand the art of directing, that they can tell if something is really, hey, this is directed really good, but the
this
picture's
was a better shot and put together piece of artwork.
Yeah. But now that I know how that goes now, I mean, maybe it did at one time. I don't know. Maybe it never did. I have no idea.
They never did. They were drunk alcoholics back then. They didn't know anything.
So I'm like, now looking at it now, like, man, fuck that shit. These people, this is all bullshit. But so with this, I have no idea. Yeah. Like the direction they went with gods in this game, and they went directions of a Forbidden West, and I think they should have went east. They should have went east, and Stray, there should have been a dog instead of a cat. I don't know.
Poor decisions all around.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. Last but not least, game of the year: A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and your indie game and debut indie game of the year, Stray.
So we know Stray's going to have to win those.
Theoretically, it does, right?
How are you going to be part of game of the year if you couldn't win best debut indie, best indie? So Stray won.
We shall see, Dominic. We shall see.
I'm mad at Horizon. Well, I'm not mad at Horizon. I shouldn't say that. Maybe I do like it. Just that the way it's been talked about. But then again, I haven't looked at the game space a lot, so I don't know. I didn't feel like Horizon was talked about enough to even be part of their up there. But I guess you would have to say, hey, what would you replace it with? And
Vampire Survivors.
Well, you know what? I will replace it either that or damn Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, I'm surprised.
Well,
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, is that really that good? I mean, okay, I'm not counting Donkey's video of it because I watched that and that was a funny video, but I mean, for the clips he showed, I'm like, yeah, like this. I mean, I guess he added all the good stuff out, I guess. But I watched some videos of this, like people reviewing it, even people who liked it. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck is it about this game that I want to put game for the year? Like, it's like if you're into this kind of niche anime-ish, nonsensical kind of like JRPG, I get it. Look, I played them, but I would never put them a game of the year. I would know, like, this game gonna be game of the year. I just want to know what's it. I just wish somebody could explain it to me. I'm not saying you're wrong. Just explain it to me. What is about that game makes a game of the year? Like, this game would be game. This was better than all the other games out there. Like, why is it better than Vampire Survivor? Why is it better than Kirby in the Forgotten Land? I don't know. Darren, I'm trying to find another game here. You know what? Maybe because there's not a lot of other games out. I don't know. maybe that's why it is.
Maybe.
Bayonetta 3, Ninja Turtles. Why is it better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Island. Why isn't it better than that?
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh, seafood, like, come on, man. I don't know. Cause don't tell me about a budget, because this ain't supposed to be about budgets,
right?
That's not what you do, because the movies don't do that. No. But actually, I guess you could say they do the opposite. The
I was going to say you get a bonus
get
for doing it under budget on movies. Look at what they did with just this little bit of money. That's still like 7 times the amount of money I'll ever see in my life.
All right, so yeah, I mean, darn, like, I'm looking at this list. The only games I played, and I can't even really judge it. God of War, the tiny bit of Stray, where I just walked with the cat to the edge of the cliff, and that was the very beginning.
And then once I couldn't jump off, I realized this is not the game for me.
And Elden Ring, a very little bit of that too. When I got out there and got killed by something.
I mean, you also played Horizon Forbidden West because you played for Horizon Allowed East or whatever. Same game.
Yeah,
she just is fatter and hairier this time or something, according to the internet.
Hairier, I do like that. Oh, you're talking about just the hair on the head, aren't they?
I'm just talking about her upper lip mustache or whatever people were complaining about.
Oh, she got really?
Well, she's got like human realistic peach fuzz. It's not, it's not like she has a mustache or anything. There were screenshots of like detailed facial stuff where it's like, oh yeah, people have a very light amount of hair basically all over their bodies. And people are like, oh, she's got a mustache now. I hate the internet.
Yeah, they do. But it's just that I don't see that. I never see that.
Well, now you're going to, because we got next-gen consoles, Dominic.
I don't know, man. That's just weird.
We're going to look like slippery seals soon. Hair everywhere. All right, Dominic. Video Game Awards. Valve is also doing a thing if you watch the Video Game Awards through their like Steam TV
but
or
that's
something.
somebody's fucking fetish. That's all that fucking shit is. That's all that shit is. Just like I didn't notice, like when people kept talking about the Nickelodeon scandal about the director or whatever for Nickelodeon kid shows.
Is this a new thing or a thing that I?
No, you just missed it. Yeah,
Okay.
that was months ago. That was back when the girl from iCarly was saying stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember vaguely something.
But yeah, because some people were saying that. Oh yeah, those are the shows, man. They were all horrible because they used to always tape the kids' feet. And I was like, I never noticed that. I would never notice that. Like the feet, like because I didn't know that was. Well, first of all, I didn't really realize that it was a fetish until a lot later in my life. And
it's the same with like Quentin Tarantino movies. Like until somebody pointed that out to me, I didn't realize it either.
Yeah. So I'm like, what? The feet? And then I was like, oh, we'll say, well, lucky for the feet people, because so lucky for them. God, I don't mean not jack shit to me.
Somewhere there's a 12-year-old that's like, God, I wish one of these shows on Nickelodeon would just tape kids' feet. Well, tape kids who were my age's feet.
Yeah, I don't think they go by age's feet, man. I think they're all just weirdos. Yep, I judge for people.
Don't
with
yuck
fetishes.
their yum, Dominic.
Yeah,
don't yuck
their yum. What they call it? When you say don't knock
yuck
their fetish.
Yum. Don't knock
no,
their
no,
boots.
not that. It's another. It's another thing they say. Like don't judge. I don't know. I forget what the word I'm looking for.
No.
Well, basically.
All right, Dominic.
All right. So anything else? What we got here? New releases.
Yeah, we got new releases. We got Soccer Story, which is out now on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series consoles. And this is also on Game Pass. This is not the successor to Golf Story, but seems to be in that vein. And
they're just
kind of intrigued to download.
They can't sue him. They can't sue him for it.
Story is too big. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You also have Gundam Evolution that's now out on the PS4, 5, and Xbox consoles. That is the first-person shooter one.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
It feels like it shouldn't be that hard to make a good Gundam game, but whatever.
Well, it all depends who has a license.
That's very true. All right, next up we got Front Mission First Remake. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch. So if you're into that, that is the tactical strategy game. You can check that out. You have Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. That's now out on the PC. How are you feeling about that one, Dominic?
I mean, I want to play it. I really want to wait for it rather come on console so like a friend can try it out to see if he likes it.
Gotcha.
Because he's been looking for some 4-player co-op games to play.
That's Left 4 Dead style, but with more guns than Vermintide, basically.
Yeah. There's probably more guns than Vermintide. You know, there's still. I don't know if I want to say that because what I've seen, I see people use some magical stuff too, just like in Vermintide. So it's probably just a setting difference,
right? But because Vermintide wasn't 40k, right? It was just Warhammer.
Yeah, that was just Warhammer. So yeah. So now this is the future stuff, which is not even in the same universe, which was my theory. My theory that was even a theory. It was a nothing.
My incorrect understanding of the situation.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Inscription. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch. So that is the card game that's been out on PC and other things for a while now. You also have The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. That's now out on PC and PS4. That's the VR game. So that first one sounded like was pretty all right. So hopefully this one is as well. You have the Callisto Protocol out on the PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox stuff. That is the Dead Space alike. It is not faring too well in reviews, Dominic.
Really? Man.
Yeah, it's like 70s. on the lower end of things.
To tell you the truth, it shouldn't, but it does for me. It just makes me look at Dead Space like I don't think that's going to do so well either.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. EA seems like they're putting money into that game, and hopefully the guys.
I mean, I just think I don't think it's going to be like a financial problem. I don't think it's going to be like a visual problem.
Mm-hmm.
I just think
it's not going to.
I just have a feeling like what was the problem with Callisto Protocol? What people have issues with?
It seems like it's buggy. It's not particularly inspired. Like same kind of too samey environment stuff like that. Just not inspiring.
Okay. So maybe not then. Maybe if that was a problem, I was just thinking people were just like, oh, they don't like that format anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's necessarily the problem. So we'll see. We also have Marvel's Midnight Suns that's out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. That is doing...
Oh, shit, that is out!
Yeah, that's doing fairly well in reviews. Sounds like there's kind of a mixed feeling about there's like relationship stuff, not like sexy relationship stuff, but like developing friendships and stuff with the different superheroes, which I've seen kind of mixed feelings on.
I want the other relationship stuff. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe they just haven't had time to develop them far enough. But it sounds like in the vein of like a Persona or what's the other one that I've seen referenced? But something like that, where you're kind of developing relationships with characters that allow them to, help you out more or less in a situation, which seems all right. It seems like a nice layer of complexity to something like the XCOM games, where I think they did that a little bit, but not to the extent that it sounds like it's developed here. So that is doing all right in reviews so far. And then you have Need for Speed Unbound for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. I'm looking up reviews right now. I feel like I haven't heard bad things. Yeah, it's got an 80 on the PS5 right now, so that's pretty good, I would say.
That's good, man.
I don't know how many of the big sites have reviewed it yet. It doesn't seem like there are a lot on here.
Oh, well, never mind then.
It's got a 7.7 user, but I mean, user is user. But yeah,
people don't know what they want, Daniel. We already know that.
Xbox and no reviews for the PC yet.
People have to be told what's good for them, not they don't get this out for themselves.
Yeah, it seems fine. That's a game. I'm sure there's got to be some way to play like the demo or the first couple hours or something through Game Pass with the EA stuff, I'm guessing. So maybe worth checking out through that. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we got for this week. Dominic, you got anything else for the people?
I got nothing. No, I'm good, man.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to other places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as the audio versions found on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you.